Okay. Okay. Let me feel it. Let me feel it. Yes, sir. Yeah. In 2006, nobody would have ever imagined that 19-year-old student you just saw with a little touch of unprofessionally diagnosed ADHD would be standing before you now. If we're being honest, I had to do an extra year at Columbia, so AKA I had to do a 3-piece spicy, okay? Because I was a transfer student from Florida A&M University, and 2, because I changed my major from music education, concentration saxophone, to music business with a concentration in production. During my sophomore year, I officially incorporated my LLC, the Internz, directly inspired by my Arts of Entrepreneurship class. Honestly, if it wasn't for the music business major, I might not have went back to school. But this was my mom's first and final wish. Marcos, my job as a parent is done when you graduate, Marco. So can you do that for your mother, please? So when I realized I'd be graduating with a 4.0 on Mother's Day, 3 years after losing my queen, I went to the president's office for the first time and I said, no, I'm not the valedictorian, but I must speak at graduation. And I felt primed and ready because I had already tested my speech my super senior year in my public speaking class. So repeat after me, you have not because you ask not. Okay, shout out to the executive assistant to the president for at least about 20 years, Yvonne Sodi. She couldn't be here today, but she was, very instrumental in making one of the greatest moments of my life, as you just saw, happen. Thank you, Yvonne. Now, will my family please rise? The Panamanians. Yeah. Mi familia antes de todo, viva Panamá. My mom's sisters are here, my tia Yvonne, my tia Linda. My kids are here, my beautiful wife, my son Marcos Enrique Palacios Jr., Naya, Noah, and shout out Azai. So also, let's take the time to give a round of applause for all the graduates' families, friends, and your support system. Yeah. I also want to honor my father, Teodoro Palacios Flores, the pride of Guatemala. Not only did he compete in the high jump at the 1968 Olympics, but he also had the honor of carrying the flag during opening ceremony. See, I'm from an era. That's right, that's right. Love you, Dad, love you, Dad. I'm from the era where they say it takes a village to raise a child. So shout out to all of the villages. Also, I want to give it up for another earthly guardian angel, Mrs. Beth Ryan. See, I paid my tuition with some of my inheritance and some of my mama life insurance, and I said, for this kind of money, I'm keeping some of these professors for life, okay? So, Mrs. Beth, thank you for being a gracious and loving teacher that I took hostage, okay? So, here we are, 19 years later, I'm back on the graduation stage, same spot. And it's a week after Mother's Day this time because now we realize that every day is Mother's Day. You gotta know that. A little bit about myself, 7 billion music streams, 12 billion views in these internet streets, 14-time Grammy nominated or associated, however you choose to phrase it. If we talking about the artists, I know you heard Justin Bieber, Nicki Minaj, Rihanna, Nas, Ludacris, Big Sean, John Legend, many, 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 many more. But now let's address heartbreak. My first artist, Aaron Michael Cox, signed to Universal Publishing and was about to sign to Columbia Records after Adele, but he passed away in 2012, 22 years old, testicular cancer. His only live performance was here at Columbia College, Chicago, during one of my music conferences. So now, welcome to depression. Because I was still broken from losing my mom. Now I lost my artist. And I'm thinking about my brother, Shaman Edwards, my brother from another mother, who is from Broadview, Illinois, came down with an extremely rare lung disease, had to have a double lung transplant. And he eventually passed away May 6, 2022. I'm saying that because life doesn't always separate the blessings from the battles. Sometimes the breakthrough and the breakdown happen in the same breath, beloved. But you gotta know this: if your worst nightmare can come true, so can all your wildest dreams. All right? If your worst nightmare can come true, so can all your wildest dreams. Now let's address brokenness. Yes, losing the bag, all right? So, some of y'all might be feeling that today, you know what I mean? Even in the middle of the celebration, I felt it after major success, because with this entrepreneurial life, okay, it's a roller coaster, a wild roller coaster. But remember, the dip doesn't define you. The bounce back does. So feel free to rewrite your life. You might feel blackballed, overlooked, undervalued. I felt all of that, but here's what I learned. They can block your calls, but they can't block your calling. Yeah. Sometimes rejection is just redirection, and the real blessing is building your own table with your friends and your homies when nobody's offering you a seat. Closed doors never stopped chosen people. Luckily, as Mrs. Beth said, there was a TED Talk right here at Columbia College about 10 years ago where I was able to unknowingly speak a prophetic word over my life. Professor Kosine presents How to Rewrite Your Life. Now let me backtrack, because I know you like, Professor Kosine, well, what's up with that? Well, my first job after graduation in 2006, Columbia College hired me. I was a 23-year-old college professor, and it was critical for my development because it gave me the platform to test and teach my future multi-platinum original production formula. See, that TED Talk was an opportunity to attempt to put myself back together again. Y'all didn't know I had a lot in common with the great Humpty Dumpty. So update to current day, right? That TED Talk has now evolved into a documentary featuring Kevin Hart. So please put that word out there, because I'm gonna need help finishing and funding it. Alumni directory, help me. Repeat after me. You have not because you ask not. So, after rewriting my life, come on, I'm trying to get through this, man. Y'all silly. After rewriting my life, I didn't just pivot, I multiplied. Diversification wasn't just a strategy, it was survival. And now it's the blueprint. I hosted a show on BET called Man Cave. I became an on-air personality for Apple Music. I began producing music for Fox's Empire and Star, and then I started acting on the show Star. Shout out to Lil Dini. And this is how you book network television with no agent or no manager, and you keep that commission in your pocket, okay? Repeat after me. You have not because you ask not. Put me on the show, Lee Daniels. And he did. On a more serious note, 2020, that George Floyd murder didn't sit right with me. And Nina Simone said it's an artist's duty to reflect the times in which we live. So I released my own song as an artist called Kings, featuring Idris Elba. And I dedicated that song to my sons. This is now legacy music season. So to all the beautiful faces that are here, Today, I'm living proof that Columbia's formula works. Yeah. Let's be clear. If you can graduate from Columbia, you're instantly overqualified to be a world leader. Yeah, and that's in all fields. Whether we're talking about business, entrepreneurship, communication, culture, fashion. Yeah, I know fashion is here. I know y'all here. Film and television. Yeah. Columbia does not build one-trick ponies. You are what my mama would call a well-rounded individual. May 18th, 2025 is important because this is a season of people hating on degrees and higher education. That does not apply to Columbia graduates because this is the greatest school in the galaxy, and I'm very unapologetic about that statement. Period. Period. Now, time to prepare for landing. Tray tables up, hearts open. I'm going to bring this birdie home with one last poetic message from the heart. Faith, the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Turn to your neighbor and say, I ain't no regular human being. Church. If the plan got holes, then the dream won't roll. Step one to winning, write your life. My cousin Nika said, write down your goals. Today proves that you are a finisher and a closer of sorts. So keep that same energy. Never stop being a champion, even if you're not in the sports. My words of encouragement say wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. Proverbs 4:7, because I got to use this opportunity and platform for cool points in my campaign to gain heaven. So, imagine, right? Imagine in 2025 and beyond that we activate. Whilst I'm extremely humbled to receive this award, my soul wants to participate. And if we concentrate, it'll give me another chance to demonstrate. Because education and educating is a lifestyle, and I'm forever a student. And when it comes to speaking life into others, obviously, I'm fluent. In closing, class of spring 2025, Big Jesus, AKA Yeshua, said in Matthew 23:11, he that is greatest among you shall be your servant. And that's what today is all about. That's the overall purpose, service. You move like this, at the end of your journey, it'll all be worth it. So stand to your feet. Give yourselves a round of applause. You worked your butt off. You earned this. Yeah. Yeah. You earned this. I love you, Columbia College Chicago. This will forever be my throne and my home. God bless you.